swing still hangs by chains. Same one where I learned to spell my name. Mama sitting there with sweet iced tea, teaching me everything I'd ever need to be. She said, boy, always shake a man's hand firm. Look him in the eye and wait your turn. Say yes ma'am and no sir when you speak, and never be too proud to turn the other cheek. I didn't know it then, but I was going to school on that creaky porch with Mama's golden rules. And I've traveled this world from coast to coast, but the wisest words I know didn't come from books or fancy folks. They came from where the sweet tea flows on Mama's front porch, where the honeysuckle grew. I learned about life and love and what a good man ought to do. She'd rock that swing till the lightning bugs came out. And everything I know that matters I learned right there, no doubt, on Mama's front porch. When I was 12 I got my heart broke bad. Sally Miller told the whole school I was sad. Came home crying, Mama pulled me near. She said, son, dry your eyes and lend me both your ears. So folks won't see the diamond that you are, they'll just see the dirt before the star. But you keep shining any way you hear, the right one's gonna see you crystal clear. That summer night she taught me how to heal, and that a mama's love is just about the only thing that's real. And I've had my share of broken roads and times I lost my way, but I'd close my eyes and I'd hear her voice, and I'd remember what she'd say on Mama's front porch, where the honeysuckle grew. I learned about grace and faith and how to start brand new. She'd rock that swing till the stars came out to play, and everything good I got inside me came from what she'd say on Mama's front porch. Now I got a front porch of my own, and kids who think their daddy knows it all. But every single thing I tell them, son, I learned it sitting where the sun would fall. And sometimes when the evening's getting late, I swear I hear that swing begin to creak, and Mama's voice comes floating through the years, saying, boy, don't forget to pray before you sleep. She's been gone now 7 Julys, but I still talk to her most every night. I tell her about the grandkids she ain't met, and how I'm trying hard not to forget a single thing she ever taught me. And I hope she's proud of who I turned out to be, that little boy who sat beside her knee on that front porch, on that front porch, on Mama's front porch, where the honeysuckle grew. I learned about living right and loving all the way through. She'd rock that swing till the whole world fell asleep, and every lesson that she gave me I promised I would keep. On Mama's front porch, best school I ever knew. And if there's any good in this old heart, Mama, it's because of you. Yeah, everything I am, everything I'll ever be, started on a creaky swing with Mama next to me, on Mama's front porch. Love you, Mama. backed home at 21 with a guitar and a plan. Told my daddy I was gonna be a famous man. He just shook his head and said, good luck, son. Call me when you're done. 15 years of Beale Street bars and open mics, playing for drunk tourists every Friday night. Tips in a jar that never quite covered rent, wondering where all my 20s went. Memphis was supposed to be my ticket out, but all I got was broken strings and doubt. Now I'm driving west on Interstate 40 with everything I own, and I ain't running from nothing. I just finally face the truth. Some dreams don't come with a paycheck, some bets you're gonna lose. I'm 300 miles from Memphis, and I ain't looking back. Just a man and his regrets in a rusted Pontiac. The radio's playing something that I should have written first, but I'm done chasing glory, I'm just chasing what I'm worth. 300 miles from Memphis, and I'm finally heading home. Took me 15 years to figure out you can't make it on your own. I had a record deal once back in 2009. Some producer said my sound was ahead of his time. That's just a fancy way of saying it won't sell. So I went back to the bars and the cheap motel. Watched 100 kids come through with stars in their eyes. Same dreams I had before reality arrived. Some made it, most didn't. That's just how it goes. I became the guy who knew all the words to their demos. I even played backup for a guy who got famous. He forgot my name by the time he hit the stage, and that's alright, I don't blame him. We all do what we gotta do to turn the page, and I ain't bitter about it. That's just how the business works. The cream don't always rise, sometimes the good guys finish worse. I'm 300 miles from Memphis, and I ain't looking back. Just a man and his mistakes in a rusted Pontiac. The sun sets in my mirror, and the highway's dead ahead. I'm trading in my dreams tonight for something real instead. 300 miles from Memphis, and I'm finally heading home. Took me 15 years to figure out some seeds just don't get grown. I called my daddy from a gas station in Little Rock. He didn't say I told you so, he just said, son, the porch light's on and there's a job down at the factory if you want it. And for the first time in 15 years, it sounded like a song worth singing. I'm 100 miles from Memphis now, and the sun is going down. Trading Beale Street for a factory line in my same old hometown. The guitar's in the backseat, probably stay there for a while. But I'm done being a dreamer, I'm just learning how to smile. 100 miles from Memphis, and I can see the water tower, the same one I left behind when I thought I had the power to be something I wasn't, to be more than what I am. But I'm finally coming home now, just a tired, honest man. 300 miles, that's a long way to go, just to end up where you started. I keep his number saved inside my phone. Haven't changed it since the day he's been gone. Sometimes late at night I scroll on down and stare at Dad like he's still around. 7 years ago we had that fight, words like bullets flying left and right. I said things a son should never say, slammed the door and drove away. He tried to call me 14 times that week. I watched it ring but couldn't bring myself to speak. Told myself I'd call him when I'm ready, when I'd figured out what I should say. But I waited and I waited till the waiting turned to years, and the anger turned to silence, and the silence turned to tears. Now I'm standing at his gravestone in the rain, with all the words I never got to say, the apology never got to hear, the I love you buried with him here. And I'd give everything I own for 5 more minutes on the phone to tell him that I'm sorry I was late for the call I never made. Mama called me on a Tuesday afternoon, said, son, you better get here soon. The doctor said it's maybe days, not weeks. Your father's been asking, wants to speak. I got in my truck and drove all night, 400 miles of headlights and hindsight. Pulled into the driveway 6 a.m., but the house was quiet, too quiet. And then I saw my sister on the front porch crying. She said he passed about an hour ago. He kept asking if you were coming. I was just 1 hour too slow, and I found out what he wanted from the letter by his bed. He'd written, son, I forgive you, but I never told him what I should have said. Now I'm standing at his gravestone in the rain, with all the words I never got to say, the apology never got to hear, the I love you buried with him here. And I give everything I am, every dollar, every plan, to go back and not hesitate and make the call I never made. They say time heals everything, but whoever said they never felt this sting of knowing that you had the chance and you just let it slip right through your hands. I talk to him sometimes, you know, standing in the garden where he used to grow his tomatoes every summer. I tell him all the things I should have told him, but the silence just echoes back. And I realize the cruelest thing about goodbye is when you never got to say it, and you don't know why. Now I'm standing at his gravestone in the rain, 7 years of words I couldn't say. The man who raised me taught me how to stand. I couldn't even hold his dying hand, and I'd trade every sunrise left in me for one more chance to set us free. But some mistakes you just can't unmake, like the call I never made. So if you're listening and your daddy's still alive, and there's something left unsaid between you, don't be like me. Don't wait. Make the call before it's too late. Don't live with the call you never made. I'm sorry, Dad. Sun is coming through the curtains now, making patterns on the bedroom wall. You're still sleeping with your hair undone, and I don't wanna wake you up at all. The coffee's getting cold there on the nightstand, but I don't really mind, 'cause there's nowhere I need to be this morning. I got nothing but time. The newspaper is sitting on the front porch. It can wait another hour or two. The world keeps spinning somewhere out there, but in here, it's just me and you. I can hear the neighbor's dog barking and the church bells far away, but the only thing I'm listening to is your heartbeat, and I could stay right here in this Sunday morning light, with this coffee getting cold and you by my side. No alarm clock, no place to be, just this moment, just you and me. And if this is all there is to heaven, then I already arrived right here in this Sunday morning light. 30 years of Sunday just like this one, and I never get tired of the view. Your face against that pillow in the morning still does what it used to do. I could wake you up and tell you that I love you, but I think you already know. So I'll just lay here quiet in the stillness and let this feeling grow. Some folks chase the whole world looking for something they can't name, and I used to be one of those people till you taught me slow was not the same as standing still. Now I understand. Right here in this Sunday morning light, with this coffee getting cold and you by my side. No hurry, nowhere else to be, just this heartbeat, just you and me. And if this is all there ever is, then I'm the richest man alive, right here in this Sunday morning light. Sunday morning coffee. Sunday morning coffee. The dishes are done and the kids are in bed. The TV's still on, but we're not watching it. You're standing by the window in my old flannel shirt, and I swear right now you're still the prettiest girl on earth. I walk up behind you and turn on the radio, some old country song from a long time ago. You laugh and say we don't have room to dance in here, but I pull you close and whisper in your ear. We don't need a ballroom, baby, we don't need a chandelier, just the hum of the refrigerator and you right here, dancing in the kitchen light, bare feet on a cold tile floor. 23 years and still feels right. Every day I love you more. The world outside can wait till morning. Tonight Tonight it's just us two, dancing in the kitchen light. Baby, all I need is you. I remember our first apartment, 98. We had nothing but a radio and a paper plate. We'd dance in that kitchen too, just like tonight, dreaming of the day we'd finally get it right. We got the house and we got the life we planned, but the best part is still just holding your hand. You say you're getting older and your hair is turning gray. I say you're getting better in every single way. We don't need a five-star dinner, we don't need a fancy night, just the sound of your heart beating in this kitchen light. Dancing in the kitchen light, bare feet on a cold tile floor. 23 years and still feels right. Every day I love you more. The world outside can wait till morning. Tonight it's just us two, dancing in the kitchen light. Baby, all I need is you. I know I don't say it enough, how lucky I am to have your love. How every morning when I wake, you're still the best choice I ever made. And if I had to do it all again, I'd find you faster, love you sooner, hold you longer, never let go. Standing here with you right now is everything I ever needed to know. Dancing in the kitchen light, your head upon my shoulder now. 23 years of getting it right. I still don't know how, but I'm grateful every morning, and I'm thankful every night for this love that keeps on growing. Dancing in the kitchen light, just you and me, baby. Dancing in the kitchen light, yeah, dancing in the kitchen. I walked into that gymnasium last Friday night. 25 years later, still felt the same inside. The banner on the wall said, "Welcome home, class of '99." And suddenly I was 17 again, standing in that line. There was Johnny by the punch bowl, still cracking jokes. Mary Ellen still laughing, that laugh I love the most. Big Mike still telling stories that probably weren't true. And just like that, we were back to what we used to do. And I don't know where the time went, man, it feels like yesterday. We were gonna change the world, we had it all planned. Now look at us, wouldn't have it any other way. Back when we were young, we had forever on our side. Back when we were young, every star was just a dream we'd ride. We didn't know how good we had it, didn't know that it would fly. But standing here tonight with all of you, I'm glad the time goes by. 'Cause look at us now, look how far we've come. But a part of me still lives back when we were young. Jenny married Tom, can you believe that, man? They hated each other senior year, now 4 kids in a van. Coach Williams showed up, still walking tall, said we were the best damn team to ever walk these halls. took a picture by the old trophy case. Same spots, same smiles, just different lines on every face. Someone played that song from the prom night '99, and suddenly every one of us was dancing like old times. And I don't know where the years went, y'all, feels like a blink of an eye. We were gonna live forever, thought we knew it all. Now we're just grateful we're alive. Back when we were young, we had forever on our side. Back when we were young, every star was just a dream we'd ride. We didn't know how good we had it, didn't know that it would fly. But standing here tonight with all of you, I'm glad the time goes by. 'Cause look at us now, look how far we've come. But a part of me still lives back when we were young. We lost a few along the way, empty chairs at the tables tonight. But I know they're here in some kind of way, smiling down from that Friday night light. And I'm standing here with tears and a smile, looking at faces I hadn't seen in a while. And I realize the best part of getting old is the friends who made you who you are. Back when we were young, we had forever on our side. Back when we were young, every star was just a dream we'd ride. We didn't know how good we had it, didn't know that it would fly. But standing here tonight with all of you, I'm glad the time goes by. 'Cause look at us now, gray hair and all, still having fun. And the best part of this life I've lived is the friends I made back when we were young. Yeah, back when we were young. Ruby's Diner, Interstate 29. December cold, the clock strikes midnight time. Just one customer at the counter in the back, staring at his coffee, coffee black. Sarah worked the graveyard shift alone that night, counting down the hours till the morning light. She'd seen 1,000 faces come and go, but something about this one she didn't know. His hands were shaking as he held that cup, like he was holding on and giving up. A folded paper sat beside his plate. Sarah saw him right then hesitate. She filled his cup third time or maybe four. He never looked up from that linoleum floor, just pushed some crumpled bills across to pay. Got up real slow and turned to walk away. But something made her speak, she don't know why. Maybe it was tears she saw him try to hide. She said, "Sir, you forgot your change hold on. He said, keep it, I won't need it where I'm going. So she said, wait, how about some pie to go? It's on the house, please, before you go. My mama always said when life gets tough, sometimes pie and coffee is enough to make you think tomorrow might be better than whatever's written in that letter. He stopped right there, frozen at the door, and suddenly she knew what he'd come here for. She walked around the counter, took his hand, said, I don't know your story, understand, but I lost my brother just this past July. He left a note, I know that look, that goodbye. The stranger broke, collapsed into a chair. Sarah held him while he gasped for air. Two broken people in a highway dive, one who'd given up, one who'd survived. She talked all night about nothing and everything, about second chances and what morning brings, how her brother's note still haunts her every day, and how she wished someone had made him stay. She said, so have some pie, I'll make it to go, but promise me that's not the only place you'll go. My mama always said when life gets tough, sometimes pie and coffee is enough to make you see the morning might be better. So why don't you tear up that letter? He looked at her with eyes so full of pain, then slowly tore that letter up like rain. 3 years later, Christmas Eve, Sarah's working hard to believe. The door chimes ring, she turns around. There's a man in a suit, briefcase on the ground. He says, you don't remember me, I know. I'm the man you saved 3 years ago. I came to say I'm married now, 2 kids, a wife. And Sarah, you're the reason I'm alive. He opens up his briefcase, pulls a picture frame, 3 smiling faces and a dog named James. On the back in shaky writing, she can see our angel's name is Sarah, coffee's always free. Sometimes heroes pour coffee at midnight, sometimes angels work the graveyard shift. And Mama always said when life gets tough, sometimes human kindness is enough to save a life with pie and conversation. One small moment of salvation. Now Ruby's diner has a picture on the wall of Sarah and the man she saved that fall. And underneath, a simple plaque that reads, sometimes all we need is someone who believes that tomorrow's worth another cup of coffee. Coffee black at midnight can save a life. I was broken down, working double shifts in a nowhere town. Everybody said I'd never make it out. You were the only one who had no doubt. I remember nights I wanted to give in, thinking maybe losing was my only win. But you'd hold my face and look in my eyes and tell me things I couldn't realize. You said, baby, you were made for more. Don't you dare give up what you're fighting for. And I don't know where I'd be today if you hadn't loved me anyway. When I couldn't see the man I'd become, you already saw what I would become. You saw what no one else could see, a diamond hiding underneath. When the world looked at me and walked away, you looked at me and chose to stay. Through every failure, every fall, you stood beside me through it all. And now that I'm the man I'm meant to be, I know it's all because you saw what no one else could see. That first apartment, one room and a dream, a mattress on the floor, if you know what I mean. But you made it feel like a castle to me. Just being together was all we need. You worked those extra hours at the diner downtown, believed in me when I kept letting you down. Never once complained, never asked for more, just kept on loving me like you did before. Your mama said you could do better than me, but you just smiled and said, Mama, wait and see. And I still don't know what you saw in me when I was nothing but a broken dream. But you believed enough for both of us, and that was more than enough. You saw what no one else could see, a diamond hiding underneath. When the world looked at me and walked away, you looked at me and chose to stay. Through every failure, every fall, you stood beside me through it all. And now that I'm the man I'm meant to be, I know it's all because you saw what no one else could see. I wish I could go back in time, tell that scared young man he'd be just fine. Not because he figured it all out, but because of who he couldn't live without. Every good thing I have today, every mountain that I moved away, it wasn't me, it wasn't luck, it was you believing more than enough. So this song is not about the man I've become. This song is about the woman who made it all come undone. You saw what no one else could see. You saw the best in a mess like me. When the world had given up and walked away, you held my hand and made me stay. Through every tear and every fall, you loved me through it all. And if there's any good in what I've come to be, it's all because you saw what no one else could see. And I'll spend the rest of my life making sure you know you were right. Thank you for seeing me, for seeing me.
I left Bakersfield when I was just 19 with a CDL and a gasoline drain. Told my mama I'd be back by spring, that was 1973. I've seen the sun come up in 47 states, slept in truck stops, diners, highway gates, hauled everything from cattle to crates, and I've missed more birthdays than I can count. My boy learned to walk while I was gone. My girl got married, I heard the news by phone. My wife stopped asking when I'm coming home, somewhere around 1981. I ain't looking for no sympathy, this is just the way it had to be. Somebody's gotta keep this country running free, and that somebody was me. I got diesel in my veins, white lines running through my brain, 18 wheels and 1,000,000 miles of pain. But I kept that family fed, put a roof over their heads, even if I wasn't in that bed. I got diesel in my veins. I broke down in the snow in Illinois, damn near froze before the help arrived. Had a blowout outside of Boise, walked away when I shouldn't be alive. I've seen good men lose it all out here, seen marriages fall and grown men in tears, seen a buddy wrap his rig last year, now his kids are growing up without a dad. I promised myself I wouldn't end up like him, but here I am at 62, wearing thin, looking at a picture on my dashboard, grim of a family that grew up without their man. I told myself it was sacrifice, that I was doing what a man does right, but an empty chair at Christmas night ain't something money buys. I got diesel in my veins, white lines running through my brain, 18 wheels and 1,000,000 miles of pain. But I kept that family fed, put a roof over their heads, even when I wasn't in that bed. I got diesel in my veins. Last week I pulled into my hometown, first time in 14 months. My grandson didn't know who I was, he ran and hid behind his mom. My boy shook my hand like I'm a stranger, my daughter hugged me but her eyes were cold. My wife still loves me, I think maybe, but I've been gone so long we've both grown old. And I wonder if the money was worth the cost of everything I gained and everything I lost. Yeah, I got diesel in my veins, white lines running through my brain, 18 wheels and a lifetime of strain. But I kept that family fed, put that roof over their heads, but I missed the life I could have led. I got diesel in my veins. Tomorrow I'm back on the road again, same old highway, same old pain. Can't teach an old dog, that's what they say. I got diesel in my veins. That's just the way it is. Back in 1992, Friday night meant one thing to do, pile into Jimmy's beat-up truck. Pray to God we'd have some luck, we'd hit that dirt road out of town, windows down and radio loud. Didn't have a nickel to our name, but man, we had it all the same. Bonfire burning by the lake, someone brought a birthday cake for Susie Miller, she turned 16. Prettiest thing I'd ever seen, we didn't know how good we had it then. Just a bunch of kids who thought we'd live forever. Now I'd give anything to go back again to those summer nights we spent together. Friday nights and neon lights, gravel roads and starry skies, young and dumb and feeling free, that's the way it used to be. Tailgate down and boots worn thin, cold beer and our favorite sins. Lord, I miss those those simple times, Friday nights and neon lights. Bobby played his old guitar, we'd sing along to country stars, making up the words we didn't know, laughing at our own bad show. I kissed a girl behind the barn, she wore her mama's lucky charm, said she loved me till the end. I wonder where she is now, my friend. The jukebox played at Dusty's bar, we'd sneak in, act like who we are. The old man knew but didn't care, said y'all remind me I was there. We thought those days would never end, that we'd be young and wild forever. But time don't care about our plans, it just keeps rolling like the weather. Friday nights and neon lights, gravel roads and starry skies, young and dumb and feeling free, that's the way it used to be. Tailgate down and boots worn thin, cold beer and our favorite sins. Lord, I miss those simple times, Friday nights and neon lights. Now Jimmy's got 3 kids at home, Bobby moved to San Antone, Susie married some city guy, and me, I'm just here wondering why. Time goes by so fast, they say, you don't feel it slip away till you're sitting on your porch alone, wishing you could find your way back home. Friday nights and neon lights, gravel roads and starry skies, young and dumb and running free, that's who we were meant to be. Tailgate down and boots worn thin, cold beer and all our little sins. If I close my eyes, I'm there sometimes, Friday nights and neon lights. Yeah, I still see those neon lights every time I close my eyes. Take me back to those good times, Friday nights and neon lights. Those were the days.
I used to chase the sunset, thinking gold was over the hill. Spend my whole life running, never learned to just be still. I've seen the ocean at midnight, watched the mountains touch the sky, but I was always looking forward, never knowing what was passing by. Then I came home one evening, tired down to the bone. You were reading by the window, and I knew I was finally home. Right here is enough, I don't need the world no more. Just your hand in mine, and this creaky kitchen floor. Coffee in the morning, your whisper late at night. Right here is enough, right here feels just right. Sunday morning paper, eggs and toast for 2. The garden needs some tending, but it can wait an hour or 2. The neighbors wave from the porch, the dog sleeps by the door. Funny how the simple things are what I was searching for. I don't need a bigger house or a fancy car to drive. Just waking up beside you makes me glad to be alive. Right here is enough, I don't need the world no more. Just your hand in mine, and this creaky kitchen floor. The coffee in the morning,
Your whisper late at night, right here is enough. Right here feels just right. I wasted so many years chasing things that fade away. If I could talk to my younger self, here's what I would say. Slow down, boy. The treasure isn't far. It's in the little moments, right there where you are. Right here is enough. I finally understand. Heaven isn't somewhere else. It's right here where I stand. Your smile in the morning, stars we watch at night. Right here is enough. Right here is my life. Yeah, right here. Right here is enough. Right here.
My old man was a rolling stone, never stayed in one place too long. He'd show up every couple years and disappear before the dawn. I remember being 9 years old, watching taillights fade to black. Mama held me on the porch and said, "Baby, he ain't coming back." I swore I'd never be like him, I'd be the father he could never be. But every time I saw his face in mine, I wondered what was wrong with me. Then last November the phone rang late, a voice I didn't recognize. Said, "Your daddy's in the hospital, son. He's asking for you before he dies." I almost didn't go, I almost let him die alone, but something made me drive all night down that long and winding road. And when I walked into that room, I saw a broken man I'd never known. He reached beneath his pillow and handed me the letter he left behind. His hands were shaking when he gave it to me. 40 pages front and back, every birthday, every Christmas, every moment that he missed. He wrote about my first steps, that Mama sent him photographs. He wrote about my graduation, how he watched it from the back. He said I was too ashamed to stay, too broken to be what you deserved. I loved you every single day, but I could never find the words. He said, "I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I'm not asking you for that. I just needed you to know the truth before I take my final breath." I almost didn't go, I almost let him die alone, but something made me drive all night down that long and winding road. And when I walked into that room, I saw a broken man I'd never known. He reached beneath his pillow and handed me the letter he left behind. I held his hand for 3 more days. We talked about the things we'd lost. He told me stories about his daddy and the cycle he couldn't stop. On the morning that he passed away, he looked at me and finally smiled. He said, "You broke the chain, son. You became the man I couldn't find." And For the first time in my life, I called him Daddy and I cried. I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad he wasn't alone. Something made me drive all night down that long and winding road. And when I walked into that room, I finally found the man I'd never known. Now every night I read those pages, the letter that he left behind. He left me more than words. He left me peace of mind. I keep it folded in my Bible now, the letter he left behind. The letter he left behind. 30 years ago this summer, I was just a nervous boy, standing at that altar shaking, watching you walk down the aisle. Your daddy placed your hand in mine. I made a promise to the Lord that I would love you every sunrise, and darling, I still mean every word. Time has changed a lot of things, but one thing stays the same. When I wake up every morning, yours is still my favorite name. You're still the one I reach for in the middle of the night. Still the face I'm looking for in every crowd and every light. The years have only made me sure of what I always knew. After all this time, darling, I still only reach for you. I remember our first apartment, coffee maker and a borrowed bed, dancing barefoot in the kitchen to a song playing in my head. We didn't have a penny saved, but we had more than most folks do, 'cause I had you there beside me, and you had me loving you. Now our kids have kids of their own, and this old house holds memories. But when I look across the table, you're still everything I need. You're still the one I reach for in the middle of the night. Still the face I'm looking for in every crowd and every light. The years have only made me sure of what I always knew. After all this time, darling, I still only reach for you. I know I'm not the man I used to be, these old bones creak and crack, but when you lay your head upon my chest, I feel young again just like that. And if the good Lord gives me one more day or 30 years, and I'll spend every single moment making sure you know you're dear. You're still the one I reach for when I need a gentle touch. Still the reason I believe in something bigger than us. The years have only made me sure of what I always knew. After all this time, my darling, I still only reach for you. After all this time, I still only reach for you. Still reaching for you. was cleaning out the attic Saturday morning, moving boxes that ain't been touched in years. Behind Mama's wedding dress and Christmas decorations, I found a dusty case covered in years of tears. I knew exactly what was in there before I opened it. Daddy's old Martin from 1963, the one he used to play out on the porch on summer evenings when I was just a kid, sitting on his knee. I ran my fingers down those worn out frets, and I swear I felt him standing next to me. The strings were rusty, but they still rang true, and when I played that first G chord, I heard him coming through. Like he never really left, just been waiting here for someone to pick it up and remember. In Daddy's old guitar, I can still hear his voice in every chord and every scar on that old piece of maple and choice. He taught me how to play Amazing Grace and Will the Circle Be Unbroken. And every time I strum these strings, I feel his love still spoken in Daddy's old guitar. There's a pick still stuck behind the tuning pegs, same one he used the night before he passed. We sat together on that porch one final time, playing songs we both knew wouldn't last. He said, son, when I'm gone, don't you let her sit. Keep her singing, keep her out of dust. A guitar that don't get played, it loses its soul. And this old girl, well, she's got plenty of us. I promised him I would, but I forgot somehow. 15 years of silence until now. But the moment that I heard that sound again, I knew exactly what he meant. This ain't just wood and wire, it's where he lives. Every song's a testament. In Daddy's old guitar, I can still hear his laugh in every chord and every scar on this worn out piece of craft. He taught me Folsom Prison blues and how to pick wildwood flower. And every time I strum these strings, I feel his love and power in Daddy's old guitar. I sat there in that attic till the sun went down, playing every song I could remember. Mama heard me from the kitchen, came upstairs, said I was wondering when you'd find him. She sat down next to me, just like she used to do, and we sang I'll Fly Away together. And for a moment I swear Daddy was right there, the three of us again, just like forever. In Daddy's old guitar, I found him waiting still in every chord and every scar. His memory, his will, he taught me more than music. He taught me how to live. And every time I strum these strings, he's got more love to give. In Daddy's old guitar, now she hangs right on my wall where I can see her every day. And when my kids ask Grandpa's guitar, I smile and start to play every song he ever taught me, every lesson, every part. Yeah, Daddy never really left me. He's right here in his old guitar. Thanks, Daddy. I won't forget again. the sun is getting low now, and it's time for me to go. But before I hit that old dirt road, there's something you should know. I'm grateful for the time we had, for every song, every mile, and I hope I left you feeling something worth your while. So I'll see you down the road, friend, somewhere around the bend, where the highway meets the sky, and old friends never end. This ain't goodbye, not really. It's just see you around. I'll see you down the road, friend. Till then, keep your wheels on the ground. We've traveled quite a way tonight, through laughter and through tears, through love and loss and lessons learned, through the best and worst of years. And now the fire's burning low, and the stars are coming out, but I carry you inside me now. Of that there is no doubt. So I'll see you down the road, friend, somewhere past the dawn, where the music never stops playing, and the good times carry on. This ain't the end, not really, just a pause along the way. I'll see you down the road, friend. We'll meet again someday. Till then, keep the faith and the music playing. See you down the road. No, I'm not the man I used to be. These old bones creak more than they used to, and the mirror shows me someone I barely recognize. But baby, when I look at you, I still see the girl in the white summer dress, the one who took a chance on a fool with nothing. And 40 years later, I'm still standing here, amazed that you're still loving something as imperfect as me. We've had our share of storms, you and I,
Times I thought the whole thing might break, but you held on when letting go was easier, and forgave every single mistake. Remember when the doctor gave us the news, and we sat in that parking lot and cried? You grabbed my hand and said, we'll fight this together, and baby, we survived everything that tried to pull us apart. And I know I can't promise you forever, 'cause only God knows when our time will end. But I can promise you right here and now, I'll be here till then. I'm gonna love you till the wheels fall off, till this old heart finally stops. Through every sunrise and every sunset, through every moment we ain't had yet, I'll be right here by your side. Through every tear and every smile, through the hard times and the better, baby, I'm in this forever, till the wheels fall off. I see the grandkids running in the yard, playing the same games that we used to play. And I think about the day when I won't be here, and all the things I still need to say. So let me say them now while I still can, while you're sitting here in front of me. You are the best decision I ever made, and you're everything I'll ever need. My first thought in the morning, my last prayer at night, and when these legs don't work like they used to, and when my memory starts to fade, I'll still remember the day I married you, and every promise that I made. I'm gonna love you till the wheels fall off, till this old heart finally stops. Through every sunrise and every sunset, through every moment we ain't had yet, I'll be right here by your side. Through every tear and every smile, through the hard times and the better, baby, I'm in this forever, till the wheels fall off. When I'm laying in that hospital bed someday, and the angels come to take me home, I want the last thing I see on this earth to be your face, and know I wasn't alone. And I hope I made you proud, hope I've been half the man you deserved. Hope you know that every single day you were loved beyond words, more than I could ever say. I'm gonna love you till the wheels fall off, till this old heart takes its final stop. Through every mountain and every valley low, I'm never ever letting go. I'll be right here holding your hand till the end of God's great plan. Through the good times and the hard times, baby, you're still mine, till the wheels fall off. And when we meet again in heaven someday, I'll be waiting at the gate to take your hand one more time and love you for eternity till the wheels fall off. And even then, I'll still love you. I do still love you. It's 2 a.m. and Jimmy's closing up the bar. I'm the last one sitting underneath the neon star. He knows my name, he knows my story. He's heard it all before. Same old song, different empty glass, trying to drink my way through this heartbreak fast. But the more I pour, the more I remember, the less I can't ignore. Funny thing about whiskey, it used to do the trick. She left me on a Tuesday, took the dog in the truck, left a note on the counter, said I'm all out of luck. Loving you is like loving a ghost. You're here, but you're not. I called in sick on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday too. Spent the weekend at this bar stool, trying to undo every memory of her smile, every kiss, every touch. But no matter how much I drink, I still feel too damn much. And I've tried Jim Beam, and I've tried Jack, I've tried forgetting, and I've tried looking back. I've tried every bottle on that shelf, but I can't outrun myself. 'Cause whiskey won't work no more. Yeah, it used to numb me to the core, but now I'm 3 sheets to the wind, and I still feel every sin, still see her walking out that door. Whiskey won't work no more. The old man next to me lost his wife last spring, says he comes here every night just to feel something. I asked him if it ever gets easier, he just shook his head and smiled. Said, son, there ain't a drink been made that can fill a hole that wide. I've been trying for 11 months and I'm still not even close. Poured one out for both of us and raised a silent toast. 'Cause I've tried Maker's Mark and Wild Turkey too. I've tried drowning in a bottle, tried starting new. But every morning when I wake, she's still the first mistake I make. Yeah, whiskey won't work no more. Can't find the bottom of this floor. I'm drunk enough to finally see she ain't coming back to me, and I can't drink away what I'm looking for. Whiskey won't work no more. Jimmy says I should go home, says the bar ain't gonna fix what's broken. But the silence in that empty house is louder than any words I've spoken. So I'll sit here till the sun comes up and I'll order one more round, not because it's working, but because I ain't ready to be found sober and alone. No, whiskey won't work no more. It just leaves me wanting more of something that I can't define, something more than wasting time staring at an empty glass, wishing I could bring her back. But the truth is what it is, I'm just a fool who can't forgive himself for letting love walk out that door. whiskey. Whiskey won't work no more. Close my tab, Jimmy. See you tomorrow night.
She's rusted out and faded now. The odometer stopped working years ago. But every dent and every scratch tells a story only me and her would know. I bought her back in '89, 3,000 cash, my daddy's loan. Drove her off the lot that day, not knowing she'd become my second home. That old bench seat's seen some things, things I wouldn't trade for diamond rings. 'Cause every mile on that old Ford is a memory I've been keeping safe. And when I sit behind that wheel, I can still see her face. That old truck of mine has seen the best days of my life. Our first date in the rain, our first kiss under Friday night lights. She was sitting right there when I asked her to be my wife. And every road we've ever traveled, we traveled side by side in that old truck of mine. I remember senior prom night, her yellow dress and nervous smile. We drove out to the old lake road and just sat there talking for a while. She told me all her dreams that night underneath a million stars above. I promised her I'd make them true. I had no money, but I had love. And that old truck just sat there listening, engine cool and windows misting. Every scratch tells a story, every rust spot has a name. And I wouldn't trade this pile of metal for any fancy thing. That old truck of mine has seen the best days of my life, the day we said I do, and drove off in the sunset light, the night we rushed to the hospital when our baby girl arrived. Every moment that has mattered happened sitting side by side in that old truck of mine. Last summer we drove out to the coast just to watch the sunrise one more time. Kids are grown and gone their ways, now it's just us two, and that suits me fine. She still slides across that bench seat, still puts her head upon my shoulder, and that old truck keeps on rolling. Even though we're all a little older, the radio still plays that station, same songs from our generation. Folks ask me why I don't trade her in, get something new with all the bells and whistles They don't understand. How do you trade in 37 years of falling in love over and over again? In the same old seat with the same beautiful girl. You can't put a price on that. That old truck of mine, she's carried us through this whole life, through the good times and the hard times, through the laughter and the cries. She was there when Daddy passed away. She was there when grandbabies arrived. Every chapter of our story written side by side in that old truck of mine. When my time comes, I hope they park her by my grave, so I can take her for one last ride up to heaven's gate. That old truck of mine. Best money I ever spent.